All right, aloha, free radicals of all shapes, sizes, colors, denominations, orientations. My name is Dave, and this is the Radical Independent. Thanks for watching. Did a video earlier. One video done. One demonetization from my employer. Imagine showing up for work and doing your job, and then your employer says, "Hey, I'm not going to pay you today because you violated some arbitrary rule." Think about that for a moment, as you maybe think about $1 a month via Patreon or a one-time donation via PayPal. Look, I wouldn't be asking if there wasn't a need. There is a need because we need independent media. We even need a guy like me sort of spouting and rambling and, stream of consciousness and the stuff that I do. The content I provide might just be, venting or a release for some people to just like, hey, there's another guy out there. I'm not a lunatic. There's this guy here. This guy here. And watching this clip this morning from The View, which the show is an embarrassment. The show is an absolute embarrassment for political content, for people who do critical thinking. This television program is an absolute embarrassment. And the fact that it is on the air and people are watching it, I'm not sure what content they're watching it for. First of all, Tulsi Gabbard was introduced. She got a very big round of applause. Then Whoopi Goldberg asked her a question about maybe a telescope that's being built on sacred ground in Hawaii. Whoopi, I guess, wanted to feel like she was paying attention or up to speed on these crucial issues of our time, even though I do believe that's a very important issue, and I'm not trying to minimize that. But these same women, they just want to spout off about Russian talking points. Let's play some of this, and I'm so embarrassed for our country. I'm going to say it again. I am so absolutely embarrassed for the United States of America because this is some type of entertainment, political discourse thing. I don't even know what it is. Tulsi, take my advice. You don't have to go on this show anymore. Let them say what they want about you, but let's roll this.
So we were just talking about EU Ambassador Sondland changing his testimony yesterday, that he had to be refreshed about quid pro quo, and you've been skeptical more than a lot of the Democrats about the.
All right, skeptical. Did Whoopi maybe indulge a little before the taping of this, or before it goes live? I mean, get through the sentence, Whoopi, and not sound like you're drunk, okay? Just throwing that in there. All right, let's roll it some more.
Impeachment inquiry. Were you surprised by what he did yesterday?
Well, look, the facts are important, and we'll get to that. I want to start with something that I think is also important about facts, because recently on your show here...
I was just going to get to that.
Good. Helping you out.
You want me to ask you the question?
No, look, some of you have accused me of being a traitor to my country, a Russian asset, a Trojan horse, or a useful idiot, I think was the term that you used.
We haven't accused you. Joy Behar might be the most reprehensible human being that I've ever seen on television. Okay? She's a neoliberal. All right? She really doesn't understand politics. She thinks she does. She's completely unfunny. All right? I guess she used to be a comedian. I don't know. She hasn't said anything funny that I can recall in the years she's been on this program, and she's been often on the show. I think she's outlived her usefulness for the show. I heard she was going to quit. I guess they probably renegotiated, and she's got an even bigger contract. And what most of these women really are doing here is just running interference for the establishment. This is a Disney-owned company. Just like the Disney-owned ABC News, which is in the midst of a scandal because they covered up probably one of the most important pedophile investigations in the history of the country. Probably one of the most important. And this is Disney. This is when you go to see Mickey Mouse and you bring your kids. This is what they own. This is the train wreck that they're a part of. So let's continue now.
Which basically means that I'm naive or lack intelligence to know what's going on.
They use that.
I want to let your viewers know exactly who I am.
All right.
Set the record straight. I am a patriot. I love our country. I am a strong and intelligent woman of color, and I have dedicated almost my entire adult life to protecting the safety, security, and the freedom of all Americans in this country. It was the attacks on 9/11.
All right. The first time I've ever heard Tulsi Gabbard refer to herself as a woman of color. And I know why she did that. Because this is the kind of audience that they love identity politics. And of course, by saying you're a woman of color, she didn't refer to her minority faith, which is also another, I guess, slice of intersectionality, which drives me crazy that this is a thing. Hey, Seema, running for Senate in Texas against John Cornyn, drop the intersectionality BS and run on issues, and you can win. Texas voters don't care if you're a woman and this and that. What they care about is, are the issues you are talking about, do those issues help me as a human being, as an American? Stop with the nonsense. Tulsi Gabbard, look, I didn't gravitate to Tulsi Gabbard because, hey, she's a woman. By the way, she's an attractive woman on top of that, and that might sound a little sexist, but it does kind of matter because there are a lot of people that see somebody and they say she's physically attractive, but she's healthy. She has a glow. She's obviously in a lot better physical condition than, say, Meghan McCain. Okay, I'm going to keep rolling this.
A little bit far ahead of ourselves, but Franklin Graham finds you refreshing. He doesn't find me refreshing. Richard Spencer, the white nationalist leader, says he could vote for you.
Joy, this is why
you're on Tucker Carlson at least 10 times. Why don't you go on Chris Wallace's show?
This is why I'm here, because you and other people continue to spread these innuendos that have nothing to do with who I am.
Well, Hillary Clinton started it, and then you shot back at her, boy. You called her the queen of warmongers.
You doubled down, unfortunately, you doubled down on the baseless accusations that she made that strikes at the core of who I am. I'm a soldier. Because of the attacks on 9/11, I enlisted in the military to go after and defeat and destroy the evil that visited us on that day. I've served now for over 16 years, deployed twice to the Middle East during the height of the war, where every single day I saw firsthand the terribly high human cost. That's why I ran for Congress.
We actually have the clip of Hillary Clinton, just to put this in context of what we're talking about. Let's take a look at that.
All right, so she sat there. She literally, Joy Behar sat there, and she had the Franklin Graham finds you refreshing. And was it Robert Spencer? The dude who's supposedly, I don't know anything about Robert Spencer, white supremacist guy. I bet you nobody on that panel really knows who Robert Spencer is. These are things that are, they probably know who Franklin Graham is. By the way, if you care about the Bahamas, Franklin Graham, Samaritan's Purse, you don't have to agree with the theology. They're down there. They've been down there since the thing happened. The rest of the country is pretty much forgotten about that the Bahamas are flattened, okay? So, I mean, this is the whole thing where you can't look at... And by the way, this is all the whole guilt by association thing again. She had the talking points. That's all she had when Tulsi Gabbard is looking at the camera and showing the just incredible amount of guts. She's like, hey, I've taken on Al-Qaeda. These women, it's who cares, right? Who cares? But they go so far out of their way to impugn somebody who is much better than they are. And I mean that. Look, you could say, well, everybody's created equal. Everybody's the same. Yeah, but there are better people than you and I. They exist. I'm looking at one on the set of this television show. None of the other women measure up to Tulsi Gabbard. Why? She serves her country. She does it with humility. She not only does she serve her country through the military, but she's served in Congress as well. She's served her state for many years. And she wants cooperation. She wants to try to get along with people in order to get things done. There's so many things about Tulsi Gabbard to admire. She's attractive. She surfs. She can sing, for crying out loud. This would be a puff piece for a daytime talk show like this. But no, what do? Robert Spencer, Franklin Graham.
I'm not making any predictions, but I think they've got their eye on somebody who's currently in the Democratic primary and are grooming her to be the third-party candidate.
Sounds like Hillary's been smoking a lot more, by the way. Figured I'd just throw that in there for a little bit of fun and levity. Sounds like she's going to be doing one of them smoker commercials pretty soon. They might have to cut a hole in here. I don't know what's up with her voice, but it seems to be getting raspier and deeper. Maybe because she's been yelling at her advisors still for the last how many years, wondering if she should get back into the presidential race. Anyway, let's roll it some more.
She's a favorite of the Russians. They have a bunch of, sites and bots and other ways of supporting her so far. And that's assuming Jill Stein will give it up, which she might not, because she's also a Russian asset.
So really? I mean, this is outrageous. This is outrageous and offensive on so many levels. I've served as a member of Congress now for almost 7 years, receiving high-level national security and intelligence briefings, serving on the Foreign Affairs Committee, the Armed Services Committee, the Homeland Security Committee, working to ensure the safety and security of the people of this country. This is why I'm running for president, to continue that commitment of service.
So are you surprised, though, that when people see bots and things and all the things that we've sort of been seeing heading your way, that people have these questions? Because she's not the only one. Hillary, I don't think, is the only one. So what she's saying is she feels they are grooming you. You're saying nobody's grooming me. I'm doing what I'm doing because I'm a soldier and a patriot.
It's offensive to me as a soldier, as an American, as a member of Congress, as a veteran, and frankly, as a woman, to be so demeaned in such a way.
But you called her the personification of rock.
So demeaned in such a way. Well, I'm pointing to the fact that she has continued this legacy of being the world's police around the world, that has waged wars costing the lives of thousands of my brothers and sisters in uniform. I'm speaking out against that. And
What's your evidence to that?
To change. Well, can I?
Are
you serious?
Let's hear it.
Are you serious?
Let's hear it.
I served in the war in Iraq.
Her. You're saying that she's
exactly.
She's a
I served
warmonger. How do
in
you
the
come
war
up with
in
that?
Iraq.
Yeah.
That she championed. She championed a regime change war
Did you not
in
believe
Libya.
in that war?
I believe the lies that were told to us.
Well, so did she.
It is indisputable. It is indisputable to say anything other than the fact.
Well, this guy.
Let me just close this out. That Hillary Clinton, throughout her career, has led with a foreign policy of interventionism and being the world's police, going and toppling dictators in other countries that has caused such destruction and loss of life. I'm against that. I'm running for president to change that. Rather than actually debate me on the issues, she and others are resorting to these smear tactic campaigns, seeking to undermine me, smear my character, and sending a message to anyone who dissents: toe the line, or you too will be smeared.
One thing.
All right, so hey, DNC, if she gets into the next debate, I mean, heads are gonna roll. I mean, she says, hey, by the way, the crew over at Rising, You know, supposedly she didn't have a very good debate, according to you guys last time, and I like your show, except that goofy music that you used to intro the show. It's really dumb. Doesn't really match what you guys are doing. It's like, hey, it's a daytime talk show. No, it's not. It's a serious political show. Play some serious, get some rock and roll bumps or something in there. You know, I can give you some suggestions. No new crap, though. I'll do the music bed for you, or I'll at least pick it. Tulsi Gabbard here showing, like, just raw determination, courage. This is the best I've ever seen her. Because, first of all, she's got an uninformed group of people around her. Joy Behar, who continues to nag and harass and, oh, well, you both had the same view. I mean, she was probably, 20 years old, 21 years old? She decided, look, I don't like what these people did to our country. All right? Now, we're not talking about the fact that we then went into another country that had nothing to do with what happened on 9/11. And by the way, this is why she did the whole 9/11 thing the other day, because we still don't know, because our government won't allow us to know, really. I think we have a hunch that Saudi Arabia played a larger role and the key role in the entire 9/11 catastrophe. Now, again, as I watch this, I'm so embarrassed. I'm so embarrassed for our country. By the way, if you're watching this video from, whatever country, and you're watching this and you're looking at our American media. By the way, these guys aren't really media. This is infotainment at best. All right, let's roll this some more.
You have not been afraid to do.
Oh, look at the audience reaction. Oh, whoa. And look at her face. She's looking back at the audience like, wait a minute. Did we screen these people before they got into the studio? Whoa, what's up with this? Hey, they're not supposed to be cheering like this.
And look, this is what the show's for. So thank you for coming on. This is what these conversations are for. But one thing that you've not been afraid to do is go up against your own party. Yeah. You even threatened to boycott the last debate. You say that the process has been rigged. Do you think it's been rigged against you? And would you ever run as an independent? Because you heard Hillary Clinton say that. There are other people that think that that's something that you will ultimately do.
No. Very clearly, and I've said no every time for months that I've been asked that question.
If the party's rigged against you?
Because I'm running to build a new Democratic Party, to take our party out of the hands of the corporate special interests, the greed and the warmongers, and actually make it so that our Democratic Party is a party that is of, by, and for the people, fighting for peace. Our party used to be the peace party. What happened to that? Actually be the party for the people, protecting our planet and fighting for peace.
Yeah, well, I think
Look, the message, you got two parties doing the same thing. The Republican Party has become as much of a do-nothing party. You can only cut taxes so many times for wealthy people. You can only say, hey, tax cuts make the economy grow. No, actually, the Fed pumping money into the economy seems to be the way it works these days. The tax cuts seem to only help these large corporations. Sure, they hire people, most of them at slave wages. We could go on and on. I don't want to even go there, because that's another video. All of this could be tangential and go to different places. Let's hear Meghan McCain, shall we? She's always such a paragon of information. She's just let's hear Meghan, okay?
among many of Hillary's comments were, if that were something people in Congress actually believed, there should be an investigation.
Exactly.
And they're not doing that. And I think you can't just throw things like that, which is trafficking in McCarthyism all the way. The term Russian asset goes back to the McCarthy era. And we can't be doing that to people who are veterans across the board.
Or to anyone.
Yes, to anyone, but specifically the only female combat veteran running for office.
All right, so Meghan McCain, because her dad was, let's just be honest, her dad was a war hero. I'll say that. I don't want to go in a weird, uncomfortable direction about John McCain, but the reason Meghan McCain comes to her defense here is because, she can imagine that somebody is speaking ill about her father who served the country. And Tulsi kind of corrected her and said, no, not just me, everybody. So let's roll this some more.
You evoke really strong reactions from people. I know what that's like, from the left and the right. And you seem to be a threat to both sides. Why do you think you trigger so many people in so many different ways? Because I don't completely understand it, but I myself am a trigger, so maybe that's why I don't get it.
Because I'm speaking truth to power, and those in power know they can't control me. So they view me and the truth that I'm speaking as a threat to that power base. Whether you're talking about the military-industrial complex or the political elite who are in power in both political parties in Washington. Those who would rather do all they can to maintain their own selfish special interests, to include self-serving politicians, rather than actually being a champion for, being a voice for, and speaking up for the people in this country who are struggling and who are facing many great challenges and who I'm seeking to serve.
All right.
We're going to break.
All right.
We'll be back with more with Congresswoman Tulsi Gabbard when we come back.
All right, I'm going to stop it there. Because my video will be like 40 minutes long if I keep going. And Joy Behar, of course, you know, she's upset that Tulsi Gabbard goes on with Tucker Carlson. Let's address this because there are a lot of people on the left that hate Tucker Carlson, and I understand why they do. Okay, Tucker Carlson is essentially a libertarian. Okay, I think those are his political views. I think if you really pinned him down, you know, he's a libertarian with maybe some populist overtones and so forth. And he's been hypercritical of everything, pretty much everything that the Democratic Party does. But he likes Tulsi Gabbard for some reason. And the reason he likes Tulsi Gabbard is because she isn't the norm. She breaks from party orthodoxy, and she doesn't go on his show to harass Tucker and to be a lunatic. She's somebody who is friendly and decent even in the midst of crap like this. Look, Tulsi Gabbard is the biggest threat to this power structure, even a bigger threat than Bernie Sanders, I believe. Bernie is a threat, but I think Bernie, once he gets into office, if that happens, it could happen, but if it doesn't happen, hopefully it'll be Tulsi. But if Bernie gets in, I believe that there will be some acquiescing going on. Bernie will tend to bend a little more toward the neoliberal side. I don't think Tulsi Gabbard has a neoliberal side. There's nothing neoliberal about Tulsi Gabbard. There's libertarian enzymes, yes. There are certainly Green Party enzymes in there. But Tulsi is fighting kind of for the soul of her party. She's not running as a third-party candidate, which stinks because if she doesn't get the nomination, there's really nobody else out there on the political scene right now other than, like I said, Bernie might be, the alternative that people can deal with. Bernie's been climbing in the polls lately. But, this is it. And for her to go on this show and put up with this nonsense. Joy Behar sits right next to her and just sits there. Bip, 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 bip. It's like, you just want to go smack. Sorry. There's just a moment where you just get sick of... It's like, sure, come on our show so we can antagonize you. Not so we can have a useful, friendly conversation. This is the problem with shows like this and with most media in this country. And again, I'm totally embarrassed for my country, and I apologize to people who are watching again from other countries who may be thinking to themselves, man, Americans, they're not too smart. And I would agree with you. We are not too smart collectively. And we better smarten up, or we're going to get another neoconservative or neoliberal who will just take this country in the same direction it's been going. Endless wars, printing money, no end in sight, and we're just going to keep doing this stuff until, the entire thing implodes, which it will. We can't do this forever. You're building the whole thing on a house of cards, and Tulsi Gabbard is the only candidate right now running for president that I see that can pull us back from some of this. It'll take all of us collectively working in our local communities and all over to get this done. And to get her into office, it's not going to be easy. Because if she got the nomination, there would be people in her own party who would work against her being elected. That means they might actually support Donald Trump, and that's a scary thought too. And yeah, any blue will do except maybe Tulsi Gabbard. I don't know. But we shall see, folks. We shall see. So very interesting exchange. Anyway, I'm Dave. Thanks for watching.